Did I say 12 Eastern? I meant 1 Eastern. For goodness sake. I'm just a bird. You can't. Amanda, welcome to the nest. Citizen Roden, welcome to the nest. It is 12 Eastern somewhere. I guess I'd have to say the eastern side right now of maybe Mountain Time. The eastern side of Mountain Time. Well, now that I've made a proper bird out of myself, I suppose we. Hey, wait a minute. There it is. Marcus Killigrew, welcome to the nest. Gonna do some comic stripping today. See, here's a strip club. Comic strip club, that is. Let's just get this set up, shall we? Make so we don't bleed into the gutters. You can just go right through. Wait, what? It's 2 Eastern right now. You know what? Time zone should be abolished. It is 2 Eastern, isn't it? It's 1 o'clock for me. Well, that's fine. 2 Eastern. So now all this, you know what? That's what you guys get for being Eastern. All right? You get to deal with that. Tank Ferret. Welcome to the nest. Iconellis. Welcome to the nest. Well, hey, since there's a bunch of you in here, I thought I'd show this. This is something in the chat room, that talking to the wonderful group in the chat. Some time ago, when I was fixing up my new intros for the show, the longer ones, so the people had a little chance to get in here, I came up with a mock opening for the chat. Right? It's not one that I really intended for them to use. It's just to kind of make them laugh. But I thought, what the heck? I'm going to show you guys here today to open the show properly. Let's see if this the sound works. Let me know if you can hear the music. There you guys go. See, that's the kind of stuff you can find, or I can find in my vaults on this computer. Sometimes I'll just do things on a whim and then stick it in the folder. Amanda says, I still appreciate you, Stato. Who else would update me on the campaign that should not be named? Anybody that knows anything knows, Amanda, that you do the campaign updates around here. I wouldn't even dare stomp on that job. That's your territory. She says, that's hilarious. I'm glad you liked it. That third member of the chat was Guapo. Yep. He, he used to be on more. Now he's on like every once in a while. I think it's some work stuff or whatever like that. But I remember when I was watching regularly with like Leroy and them, I remember he was more of a regular fan in the chat, on the panel. So I'm just, I'm there trying to pick up that slack, trying to help even things out until they find somebody better. It's kind of like Starship Troopers, you know what I mean? Like, I'm here until I'm dead or you find somebody better. Amanda B has always been a true force multiplier. Stippling Vaughn, hey, welcome to the nest. I want to put on a hat and dance a jig. Well, I know you've got many hats. You are truly a man of many hats. So let's get us a start. What do we need? You know what? It's quiet in here. It's quiet again. I've turned into ASMR stat. What should we do? Everybody likes night driving. What do you guys think of this one here? This one right here, like. That's a popular one. She is a real hero. I agree. I think Amanda is a hero. Sandwich hero, campaign hero. We love her around here. She's great. All right, so Animators a lot of times would use red or blue pencils when they're doing their preliminary sketches, so that when they popped it in and scanned it, they could just filter out the red over the blue, and then you'd just be left with the pencil or the ink. Fun fact. All kinds of stuff going on. Amanda and Stippling are talking. Ferret says Amanda's been in his corner, kind of like Mickey from Rocky, for a long time, for as long as he can remember. It's very nice. The beak's not right. Well, it looks like, as far as the Kelsey Fund My Comic thing, they locked it until they could figure things out. Looks like they are figuring things out, so we'll all get our Kelsey book. I want my Kelsey book. I just backed Black Phantom. Feel like a Kentucky Fried Idiot. Buddy. Stippling needs a link to buy those socks. Whatever socks he's talking about. Get him the link. Get the man the link. I've got, as I'm sitting there here, doing this comic strip. Tag Ferret says Black Phantom looks amazing. Yeah, I looked at it. It's a very smart campaign from what I've been looking at. It's a black and white book, so he keeps his costs down. He's got 2 books, so you get 2 different properties going on there. One's kind of black, one's like toned sort of green or whatever like that. And you get a look at 2 different things, and you might think 2 issues for $24 or without shipping, $12 a piece. But at the same time, it's the same, dang near the same page count that you have that you've been backing this whole time. So you get a little bit more, like a little more variety. I like that. So I'm gonna give it a chance. It looks great. We'll see how it goes. He said it's not too far off from being done, if not done already. Tank Ferret loves that energy and the style. Oh yeah. Citizen Ronan says, so stat, did all our Kelsey orders slip into the ether, or I'm a little confused? No, what I think happened, and this is like everything I've been able to gather. There was a glitch. There was a problem when he switched from like all or nothing to like store mode, like keep it going or whatever like that, and that caused a little bit of a glitch. So all of the payment processors have the orders. They've got the thing. It just might be a matter of them having to run it again, so that it works. So this is another, one of those new site things. That they're just kind of something nobody could have seen, but I think all the stuff is still there. It's just going to be a little bit more time before it comes out of our accounts. So, so that's what it sounds like the situation is. So no reason to panic. I'm sure they want, as one of the bigger books on that platform. I think they're going to want to get that figured out, and they will. Marcus Killiger says, I back with gift card most of the time. FMZ doesn't take them. Oh, maybe that's a feature they can fix in the future, because those online gift cards, like the Visa ones you're talking, like the ones where you load up or you buy like $100 and activate it online, that kind of thing. Citizen Rona says, I know we talked about it, but Kelsey didn't seem to know much this morning, so I asked. Yeah, I'm sure it's like a ongoing situation, but I think they'll figure it out. But that's what it kind of sounded like to me. So we'll have to see. I mean, I don't think, it's the book's canceled. I mean, at this point, it's nice because it hasn't come out of your checking account, but at the same time, not great because it hasn't coming out of your check, or credit card or whatever like that. So I'm in the same boat. I'm waiting. Can't wait to see that book happen. I can't wait to see Kelsey get a little success after all the stuff he's done for other people. It's funny. I was watching Kelsey's show today, and the main topic that was on discussion with the chat was the mail-in. I guess they had some sort of a debate or an argument that sounded like it was worse than it was, and that's all the chat wanted to talk about. Kelsey didn't seem all that interested in it. Marcus Gallagher says it's about the security on the cards. The Visa ones don't work on IGG. The Amex ones do. Okay, makes sense. Watched about half of that stream. Yeah, I got to catch the rest of Kelsey's stream a little bit later. I had to go get a workout in. It was back and trap day, and then I had to. I didn't see that fight last night. Was it on Rumble? I'm not 100% sure. It could have been. From what I hear, John took a stream down, and it was one that he and Kelsey had some sort of a debate or an argument on, and it sounds like, it was like just for the entertainment of the chat, little kayfabe kind of thing. I don't think that they were really mad at each other, because if they were, Kelsey doesn't realize it. At least according, he could certainly be playing like what do you call it? Like damage controller. I don't know. I of course don't have access to those back rooms, which is okay with me. But it has something to do with, I don't know, with Tampa. That BDSM club thing that a bunch of them went to. I'm not 100% sure. That a lot of that happened sort of on my on my break. A lot of the Tampa stuff. Killer Guru says, I watched some of that fight. It was on Rumble, and John is privating his Rumble streams. Interesting. That's interesting. John doesn't seem like the type that would private his streams. Citizen Ronan says, spill the beans, Marcus. Was it really a fight? I'm inclined to say probably no. And if it was, I'm sure they settled it in the background, or in the back room, because nobody wants more fights to kind of like divide, especially in the the upper area there. Nobody wants more fights to divide people more than they are. Although I will say that the last couple of weeks haven't noticed a lot of fighting. I was joking about that on the chat there. Like when I go away for a week, when I take a little vacation, things are great. But when the chat takes a vacation, Vanessa, Amanda, everything goes crazy. It's a curse. They say I'm part of it. I don't know. Stippling Vaughn says, I'm sure CG Ace Reporter EVS is on the case and ready to evap for content. Well, you never know. Maybe he doesn't want to call attention to that stuff either. I don't know. Marcus Gallagher, it seemed like a fight. Kelsey was angry and John was surprised at Kelsey's anger. Kelsey's, it's funny with him. Like, I know he gets tired of like the hanging on the mainstream stuff and the needless fighting. He said so before on his show. But then again, I wonder if some of that is just, like for a little bit more for the audience. You know what I mean? Like if you go in there and someone says something to you and you go, hey, the audience is good, but you go, hey, what the F, and you start freaking out and like trading jabs and stuff. Audience loves a fight. So I'm not sure. Amanda says, I don't think you can EFAP privated stream. I believe, no, you can't. So Rona says, it was funny watching Malin on Peach Channel last night. He was just being himself rather than being the coach character. I like that Malin better. Yeah, I caught some of that too. It was a pretty decent show. Marcus Kilger says, Kelsey's a bit contrary. I don't understand how John wants to have fun at a con and make money. I don't understand how John wants to have fun. Yeah, a little bit of an iconoclast, maybe. Kelsey, I think Kelsey's main heart is in comics, and when things get too YouTube sided, it takes the focus off comics, and I may be speculating here, but I feel like that's where his home is just comics, and everybody wants to talk about everything else. Joke or not, when it all is said and done, overused and overdone, the funniness wears off and annoyance enters. Yeah, you aren't wrong there. After a while, it's whether it was real or not, whether it was a joke. Sometimes the chat makes it a meme and turns it into something a little bit more serious. I've certainly seen times in the past 3 or 4 years where something is dead, done, and buried, and there are certain members of the chat that really like keeping stuff going. It's almost like a wrestling, wrestling show, where you got like this really good storyline or not great storyline, and either management or the fans are keeping it going between these two wrestlers when clearly it doesn't need to be there, or whatever. That's why they call it kayfabe, I suppose. But I mean, there's the fun ones, the ones that people like John versus Shane, or like chat really likes to call Ethan fat. That's one that's been going on for a long time. And then there are the ones like when Mike S. Miller and Ethan were really going at it. Like there were times when they were both in their respective corners, not talking to each other, and there'd be a lot of he said in the chat, hoping to get some reactions because it's good soap opera. Kelsey felt he was defending PTP, who doesn't seem too upset. Yeah, I heard some other stuff too surrounding Patrick. Nothing which I, nothing that was like concrete. I mean, I heard there was a little extra recreation going on at or around the club. And then on the other side of it, there was like Graham with like a cigar party sitting around talking. And that seemed to be another popular place. Citizen Rona says they're basically just mining the Tampa Con for content at this point. Outrage clicks. Amanda says, I thought this is great, you guys. Thank you very much. While I was gone, and here I hope the algorithm doesn't punish me for taking a break every once in a while. While I was gone on Twitter or X, all this stuff is going down. So I'm coming in just like out of a fog. It's like I have some weird amnesia. I was there the whole time, but I don't remember any of it. Amanda says, I thought the majority of the attendees said Tampa was successful, which I did hear that a lot of people had a great time. Just because John thinks that everyone needs to come out in the black doesn't mean that it's a failure. Well, I'm not sure what kind of money everybody made. But it looks like a lot of them had a great time. Like the Diaz brothers, Kelsey, Rini, Graham looked like he had a good time. Like they look like at least they had a good meetup, which is something in itself. That's the new component, like when we were starting this in 2020 and whatnot, or when I got around, everybody had the idea of like, oh, this is great. This is like a con that never ends. We don't need conventions. This is pretty much like a convention. Look at those suckers going to conventions. Now that everything's settled and everything's kind of gone back to normal, those conventions are starting to look pretty good, especially when A, that's another stream of revenue, and B, that's new. It's something that hasn't really been done before. Getting to go and meet the people at the con. that you've been talking to for 3 years and giving money to. It'll all be okay, Amanda says. Just difference of opinions coming to light. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Graham only goes to cons he's paid to go, I suppose. I'm not sure how he chooses them, really. I thought it was just close to home. Citizen Ronan says, I think there are some people who don't seem happy that it was a fun and successful event that they had nothing to do with. It seems petty. Seems a bit petty. I'm not even all 100% sure who was there. I saw Shane, I saw Renee, I saw Patrick, I saw Mandy, I saw Kelsey, the Diaz Bros, Cecil, I think. Yeah. Marcus says, plus, pros are invited to cons and don't pay for booths like PTP, Shane, and Mandy did. That's true. It's true. Citizen Ronan says, I think there are some people who don't seem happy that it was... Oh, I just read that. Tank Ferret says, it's a shame that the fighting takes center stage when such a small portion of the awesome content and goodwill actually takes place. Yeah, the Diaz Bros were there. John has always had my back, and I'd be a real turd to turn mine on him. Fair enough. J-Bot, hello, welcome to the nest. Nobody's really fighting. It just sounds like, to catch you up real quick, it just sounds like, and I'm catching up too, mind you, too. John and Kelsey had some sort of a debate, whether or not it was like a real debate or whether or not one of them was just kind of like angry. I don't know, but happened on some stream that was taken down, and everybody wants to talk about it. And I'm not so sure there's a whole lot to talk about. We've seen this kind of thing before. Amanda says, if you're hoping to travel with an overnight, you need to be pretty well known to have a pretty universal item to sell to be able to make money. Right. That's absolutely true. And not everybody does. I wonder how everybody did, though, money-wise. Not necessarily like how much they made, but if they were happy with the money that they actually made at Tampa. Marcus Gilliger says, meeting CG is great, and I have met a bunch in the last 2 Hero Cons. Yeah, I don't go to cons much myself, but if I did, I'd probably have to like make a Statistical Zero shirt, like with this icon, one of these icons on it, just dead center on my chest, and then just walk around. See how many people recognize it. Because, you sure wouldn't know my face if you saw it. Stippling Vaughn says, cons are a superior way to sway opinion and recruit new normie fans to CG. As for the clubbing, it shows the CG has a youthful energy when the current demographic has a get off my lawn tone. Is that right? You think so? You really do? Think going to a BDSM club is giving off the youthful energy, and the rest and the rest of the CGers are off smoking cigars, screaming at young people about their lawns. I know which one I'd rather go to. I like screaming at people about my lawn. Not that there's much of it left right now. Like, the sun scorched the crap out of it, and what the sun hasn't dealt with, the chickens sure have ripped up. So. Oh, the clubbing and the cigars were on separate nights. Marcus Killiger says, I thought it was like a battle of the bands kind of thing. Like, which one are you going to, the cigars or the sex club? Let's see what happens. Go. Let's change this expression quick. Hold on a second. I gotta mute. There we go. Didn't want to cough in your ears. Let's see. First one, then the other. Tank Ferret says, sounds like it was like different nights. Citizen Ronan says they went to Ybor City at some point, which is a nightlife place, but I don't remember seeing anything from that. Oh, I'm sure there was lots of stuff that sounded like they had a decent time, though. I mean, I'm just waiting for one day when wait a minute. Amanda Sestato, I want a comic strip book for The Bird 2024. Okay, you know, it's funny you should mention that. I was thinking to myself last night. I was thinking, self, aside from the project that I'm doing, what about maybe a comic strip collection, landscape format, full of not only redrawn favorites from this crop of 200 that I've got, but maybe some new ones that almost like form little mini stories, you know, like they might do in like the comic strip collections where they'd have a couple, and they maybe put that one thing on the cover that like is one of the bigger chunks of story in there. Or maybe what I could do is like a documentary style thing, you know, where you know, like The Office or something, where you're talking to Stat, he's talking to the reader, and then you know you get to see some comic strips in between there. It's on the list. It's on the list of things to do. Phantasmagorical, welcome to the nest. Nice to see you. Marcus Kilger says Rob Hunter knew the Clunt. I'm gonna put some question marks. I don't know. I agree with Amanda. We demand a book, Bird. Well, maybe when I get a little bit better known, I'll do some. But the layout process, I'm very much. I've got. Let me just hold on a second. Remove. Open. I do have. Where is it? Here it is. There it is. See, I've got a template. Hold on. StreamYards is like, there we go. I've got a template here, and it's got like, you know, you can do 3, you can do 2 or 4, a couple of top and bottom. Take the 4s like that, right? And then I'll probably put a couple more layers in there where I can just get like a single, or you know, like a single panel or a double panel, whatever, like that for top and bottom, so I can tap and bottom, right? So I can mix and match. But this is sort of what I'm thinking I'm going to use. And what gave me this idea, aside from people asking, thank you for your interest, was I was looking at let me see, pin, there it is. So about redrawing some of these strips and maybe having a few with like some story type stuff in them. That has come across my mind. I've got a project I'm working on right now, and after that, I've either got a separate book that I want to do here, or I start that. I mean, I could, I suppose, start the separate book and that at the same time, but that's quite a bit. We'll see what happens. 2024, maybe. Maybe I'll have built up enough skill to like built up enough, not only skill, but like people, you know, because I don't really know if it's a good idea to launch a book when I've got, you know, 145 on YouTube, 147 subs on YouTube, and maybe an average of, I suppose, 30 views, 30 to 50 views per episode, you know. I'm not so sure that it's wise to try launching books at that point. Citizen Rona says, how about some pages of what would be a Sunday strip, a few small panels, and then one big one, kind of like Calvin Hobbes? I thought of some Sunday strips. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this just completely black and white, or if I wanted to do the whole thing color. Because that's another, you know, like if I do it black and white, I can make it, you know, more strips for cheaper. But if I do color, of course, I'd have to cut down the strip length, because they'd all, you know, that would be a much more expensive book to produce. And the only way that I could, you know, do a color book for cheaper would be to have a big company publish it, which I'm not optimistic about those chances. You got to believe, but sometimes you got to be realistic too. But we're not giving up on the comic strips, though. That's one thing for certain. I mean, I'll still, of course, do some regular comics and stuff like that. But the comic strips, that's always kind of got to be something that stays. And that's kind of my claim to fame, isn't it? That's why people know me. That and Chaplain cards. Astro Zombie, welcome to the nest. You could do 3-4 panel comics, black and white, and the longer Sunday strips comics in color. Well, see, the problem with that is if you do one page, from what I understand, if you do one page of book in color and the rest black and white, you're still paying all color for the book. So it would probably be just better to either do all color or no color in terms of the book. Or, I could do print on demand, kind of, like do the book at like Lulu or something like that. And the only problem with that is, I mean, I suppose people could do it, but there wouldn't be any signed copies or anything extra that comes with it. And those digital printers, thing about digital printers is they don't always get the color right. You might have like a purple and then it'll be like a little bluish and then more purple, depending on, like what the printer's feeling like. Sometimes it's kind of weird. It's not like an offset printer, which is basically the same every single time. It's sometimes there are little nuances and changes. How much do they take as a cut for those print on demand? They probably take a good 60% or something. I'm not sure. You could charge $10 and maybe make 2 or 3. So, or what I can do is maybe one day open up like some sort of not Etsy. I heard Etsy's terrible, but some sort of a little store, maybe make a site or something. And I don't know, start like a DBA or little tiny LLC or something. I don't know. Trouble is, in Minnesota, you have to have a physical location for your business if you're doing like an LLC. And I don't really want to. You can imagine, I don't really want to use my home for a physical location. I'd like it somewhere else. Maybe PO boxes don't count either. I looked into that. So I'm still figuring that out. I don't want to use my own money for it. Because, then that becomes a problem for taxes. It's like, oh, so you made this much money. Where is it? Well, I spent it on shipping and stuff. Oh, you're still going to be paying that money, right? Even though you don't have it. So, yeah, we got some stuff to think about. But in the meantime, you guys still get these comic strips for free. I'm happy to do that, but Stippling says, I know you as a ruler of Bird Island living in exile. Yes. We need this book so Stat can use the funds to get higher the French Foreign Legion. I think my ruling days are over. I think the humble life of a country bird just suits me so much better, and I think people appreciate it too more. Like there's just this nice, try to be wholesome, let the power go to my head, learn some lessons. Things were said, mistakes were made. Yeah, I think the Norman Rockwell approach is probably probably best for this bird. The chicken stock was your physical business. Well, the chicken shack is, of course, what we call the home. I suppose I could put it out back. Say the business is out back, amongst the chicken crap. Rule with an iron wing, I say. Citizen Run says. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that there was a island of bird. But you know, the thing about the chat is, it's an educational show. You know, whether you're hearing about Vanessa's many jobs, she's a lawyer, proctologist, ranger, works for the Fed, like just so many lives. And you get to learn. It's also part of a cooking show. You get to learn about sandwiches. Well, for those that stick around. I do my best to help out with that. Try to make it fun. Although I feel like sometimes it's like stepping on the show, taking over it. I don't know. Or maybe that's just my time to justify me being there. Oh, like he's sitting there just saying dumb stuff the whole time. Maybe he should do something. That's what I do. Dang it. I narrate over sandwich voting. Actually, I want him to say something in this last. I got the script in my head, you know, in terms of what I want to say. Usually with these comic strips, it's just sort of like you got a quick situation. All right, that's good. Okay, let's get this script in here. What do you say? Let's take we want digital stripped. Digital strips. Okay. So let's see here. Try to fit this into. That'll work. It'll work just fine. We're gonna do this maybe bubbleless. So what in the world happened to you? The other bird says, and Stats says, I looked down and sneezed, and kind of sneezed, and I threw out my back. DJ, welcome to the nest. Snuggy has done a lot of world building with his sandwich universe. The Snugwood entry was memorable. Yeah, that thing was like 2 feet tall. I still wonder how the crap do you even start something like that? I mean, you slam it down and it still seems huge. Do you cut it? Do you take it apart and eat it piece by piece? Like, that's beyond me, man. And some of those ones Mrs. Good Stuff puts up where they're like 4 inches thick. You might as well just take a steak and put 2 pieces of bread, like one on top, one on bottom. Call it a sandwich. Like a huge, thick steak, too. I bet it would win. Oh, Amanda says, I think I hit my XDM limit. For freaking sake, I can't message anyone. What? Amanda, you hit like, what is that, like 900? No, it's not 900. It's like, whatever it is. That's amazing. They're trying hard to make us all pay for it. They're trying so hard. There we go. Yeah, sometimes you don't even need a background. Let's cut the let's cut that red layer there. Although I kind of liked it in. All right, so this is not bad. I suppose I could fix him. He don't look so good, does he? Here's what we'll do. Check this out. So I'm gonna bring this down a little bit, right? Amanda says I've messages a decent amount, but wouldn't be thinking that high. Sometimes it gets away from you. You know, when I used to be a lot more into gaming, you know, there was like on Nintendo consoles and stuff, always had like a they always had like a way to count your playtime. And some of my favorite games, I'm like, oh man, I play this game all the time, and you're looking at like 2 hours logged. Okay. Well, then there's these little tiny bite-sized games, you know, like those match 3 games, you know, like they used to have like I never played Blue Jewel Blitz or whatever, but that kind of a game. 72 hours, because you play it for like 2 minutes, put it down for a while, come back, play it 2 minutes, you know, like across a certain amount of time. Holy cow. They'll get you. She can read, she can't reply. Wow. I wonder, and that's probably until tomorrow. Now you got to like choose who you talk to. This is going to turn into MySpace. You're going to have to like have people fight for your top spaces, and you know who gets to talk to Amanda and who has to just not be on Amanda time. That's what's going to happen now. Because Elon Musk instituted that, it's all turning into Thunderdome. There we go. Now what we do is we go down here, we erase this other one that I didn't like as much. Go up here, merge that with layer. Oh, gotta bring that back up. Now we gotta merge it. Ronan says you could have multiple accounts when one fills up, just go to the other one. Amanda says, I don't know if I could take this. This day isn't half over. I could see Amanda just like sitting there right now, like scratching her neck. Got any more of them DM messages? No, I don't like that development at all. Yeah, and checking multiple accounts would be a pain in the butt too, I agree. That's mostly why I don't have any sock puppet accounts. It's laziness. All right. Yeah, what happened to you? I sneezed and threw my back out. I kind of did that the other day. I looked down and I feel this like weird twang in like my upper back. And then it just didn't feel right all day long. All I did was look down. Imagine like having to go to the hospital because you reached for the toilet paper wrong. That's what happens when you get older. Stippling Vaughn says writer's room will have to set up a Telegraph group chat. I think we all need to get on like an emailing list. Oh, 100 messages. Yeah, that's possible. We all need to get ourselves on an email list and feel more proper. Like this is, 2002. Or maybe we need to set up some sort of a message board. Yeah, that could be the way. The chat's new evolution. A message board. All right, you know what? What are we at? 46 minutes, I think. Let me just stop sharing this for a second. I'm going to save this quick. Save as. Clip. All right, and let me open up this again. Okay. And restart. Citizen wrote a message. AOL Instant Messenger. Yeah. What's going on with StreamYard? It's like, it takes forever. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. Like, I could do this on a double page kind of thing. I've got, maybe I've shown this before. I've got, you do like 1 panel, 2 panels, 3 panels, 4 panels, and then just delete the rest that you don't need. In this case, I think I'm gonna do a 3-panel. Do 2 comic strips today because I don't even care. Are any of your carrier pigeon buds need work? No, they're all fat and in parking lots, waiting for like people to throw fries and chicken nuggets at them and stuff. Like with the seagulls, all these gulls out there, like they're just ready to die, but you know they just hop out of your car, just barely. Some people try to hit them, cruel fools. But they're just like, maybe I could live for just a couple more fries. They're just stomachs with beaks on them at this point. Have you ever seen that? I remember one time I got myself something to eat, and I'm in a parking lot, and I look down, and I'm getting ready to eat my burger, and I look up in the rearview mirror. There's one bird there, one, and then I get down and I take a bite, and I look back up. There are 9 birds in that span of me getting down, taking a bite, and go back up. There are 9 birds looking at me in the rear view mirror, like with hunger in their eyes. I thought they were going to riot and rush the car. Man, it says I can read all the messages. I can't figure out how to log out on my phone. Twitter is becoming a different place, that's for sure. I remember when he came on and he was Musk was criticizing Zuckerberg about, like, you know, the algorithm stuff and you know, talking about how people need to be able to speech. And now it's kind of like, nah, you can get off your phone, go outside, talk to people outside. Well, let's see here. One more. We got 10 minutes. I'll do a short one. Let's see here. Let's do another chicken, or another one of the rival bird. Oh, Citizen Ronan says Musk is a fraud. ... His whole career. I don't know a ton about him. He just kind of showed up one day. No, S21 Plus. Crapple. Is it a crapple? Go into apps, shut it down. Just like the containment grid in Ghostbusters. I wonder what kind of stuff I should do if I really wanted to make this channel take off. I suppose there's lots of stuff. I could show my face. I could insult somebody. I could do one of those like put the StreamYard link in the chat. I could make a book. I don't know. Trouble is having to... You know, Brad Bird once said, it's either like his career or his family. He can't really, you know, if he prioritizes one, he fails at the other. And I feel like if I really put my time into the YouTube channel as well, like I do my drawing, I would probably fail a little bit more with Mrs. Stat, and I don't want to do that. Bling Bond says it's better to burn out than fade away. It's a Kurgan reference. Amanda says, I really want to know what the limit is. I talk a lot, but not that much. Right? You got nothing on me. I haven't shot the limit yet, but then I'm not on there that much. Nah. Yeah. I kind of wonder, like, it was a nice break from Twitter. or X. I'm gonna call it Twitter. I don't care. It was nice, but when you go away like that, it's like you come back and sometimes you miss a lot. Sometimes you miss a little bit, but you're never quite sure. You're never quite sure what's happening. Like you gotta take a few days to catch up. Which is why this here chat's great, because you guys can tell me this stuff, like what I'm missing. So now what we got to do is we gotta give Amanda a bunch of stuff to read, or just not talk at all so that she can participate when she gets back up. But then, of course, when she's participating on a bunch of it, right, it's gonna use up her limit really, really fast. Maybe it's just a glitch. Maybe they're working on some stuff, and it'll be sorted out pretty soon. I remember when they were implementing some stuff, I get up in the morning and I'm like looking at 3 things, and it's like, oh, you hit your limit. You can't look at anything anymore. When clearly I hadn't looked at like 1,000 or whatever it was. Amanda says X help says 500 DM limit with a 2,400 tweet limit. Would have thought DMs were 500 times. I wouldn't have thought. Really, if you've DM'd 500 times, I mean, you've got to be like one of the hearts of CG, for goodness sake. That is a lot of DMing. But then again, everybody likes you, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're talking to you. Uh-oh. You know what I did? You guys know what I did? I have the pencil layer right here. All right, so here's what we got to do. Bring that back up. And I gotta take this. Grab that and grab this. X. Marcus Killiger says that happened to me one Saturday. I was limited. Yeah. I don't know that I messaged nearly enough to be, to get close to that limit. Maybe that means I'm not reaching out enough. Maybe that means I need to talk to people more. I'll go be a top G like Noah. Get my wife to make me some pizza rolls, something like that. That's what I'll do. Maybe he should be my new role model. I'll start hating the original RoboCop just like him. Nah, it's a bridge too far. I can't do that. Can't do that. He's on his own. Good kid though. Sits around getting a laugh out of that top G. Now he's making an image for himself. I mean, I don't know if it's one that people are gonna take seriously, but it can be pretty funny. He's got a gimmick. I think if he keeps going, he's got a knack for YouTube. He does. Much more than me. Was it Shelby it wouldn't be surprise me if it was Shelby that started that. But he's got. I saw the other day when on the chat he was asking what overdraft was, and somebody said, like when you take money out of your account that you don't have, and he goes, and then someone else in other words, your mother's account. And he's like, yeah, that's right. She better not overdraft. I can't have that happening to me. I got a laugh out of that. That's pretty funny. Maybe I'll just go off to college and be like, you know what, this comic thing, it was great while it lasted, but now I'm gonna do other stuff. The rest of us are just here like, this is all I got. I got no place else to go. Whoa. You know, it gets to the point where I think to myself, like, I should write some jokes for this show, you know, like but I never know where things are going to go with this chat, with what's going on. Because sometimes for the Sandwich Saturday, I'll write a couple of jokes to put in there to kind of like, I don't know, try Kill Vaughn. I came close the other day, or the other week when I came back, but it just wasn't good enough. I think Vanessa's much better at trying to make him an ex-member of the chat in the most kind and funny way possible. Today might just be a game. I'll sit back and play it. You know what I should do? Just kick back and maybe draw some sketch cards, read some comics today. I don't know. I've already done my workout. Got this thing going on. But Vanessa has the best laugh. She does have a funny laugh, especially when you know, somebody in the chat just like snipes her and she just falls apart for a second. You can hear her in the distance laughing really hard away from her desk. It's stressful being a Fed, you know. You gotta get some humor somewhere, and where better than the chat? Vanessa's X-Force, she has specific skills for what she does. Yeah, making people laugh. And you know, but honestly, I think the only thing that she's actually harmed has been her, at least in recent memory here, has probably been her copy of Groken, and the poor copies that are coming to her. They're gonna meet a worse fate, I'm sure, because I have a feeling that Groken 2 is gonna like absolutely outdo the first one, and I haven't even read them. I can't wait. I'm in that perfect position of like knowing that it's good, but then not really knowing what to expect. Those skills involve a kniff. Marcus says, I got out and hung out with Andy and Dennis yesterday at the... Oh, that's great. That must have been hilarious. They're both... Those two, like, almost seem like brothers the way they bicker. So funny. But I'm looking forward to seeing Core Draft, seeing what they did with that, because I read Andy Smith. I saw his art when he did Claw the Unconquered. With Chuck Dixon over at Wildstorm, and it was pretty good. So this is probably closer. I am disappointed that First Man didn't get another issue, because he looked like he was setting up something. And with superheroes, you know, it's not the introductory, like I said, it's when they come back and you see how the stories have changed these characters and evolved them. Stipple Gavon says, she reached into Kelsey's beard and pulled out that connect. Yeah, Kelsey was holding that for her. Marcus Kilger says, they are like that in real life, and then I steal their chairs. Yeah, it's my goodness, the insults that those guys come up with for each other. It's great TV. It's funny. They seem pretty... First Man 2 is a standout for me. It was. That's the frustrating thing for me with First Man. First Man was pretty all right. It seemed like if I had to complain about anything, I would say there was a pacing issue. Like maybe there was too much that slammed into one issue, or it flowed in a weird way. I really like the idea. I like the world. I like the characters. But it just seemed like either it was too much or too little. It was a fast read and it was a good read, but and then the second one comes and you've got a good storyline, and there's the setup for the villain to return, the main villain from the first one, and then it's kind of gone. I hope he does more, because I like First Man. It's kind of like Starlight Cats. I like that book, and then he's doing Inglorious Rex is good too, but I gotta say I like what Shane did in terms of like taking this book and proving that this quote unquote kids book could work for anybody, and it did. It was a great almost like an 80s cartoon, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else he does with that. So here's hoping. Sibling Vaughn says Kelsey's beard is like a high school locker. Just reach in without looking and pull out what you need. That's weird. I don't know that he's got like a wizardly beard yet. I bet he will one day. He's gonna have this really big wizardly beard, and he's gonna have like pens tied onto it, like trinkets and pens and stuff, and he can just look down into his beard and just like a dwarf. Yeah, the locker's gonna smell like cigarettes for sure. Although I did hear he's trying to quit, so that's great. So let me see here. Let's get some words in this thing real quick. A couple of quick. Hey, I'm just a little bit past an hour. I'm proud of me. Look at that. All right, 2 strips in an hour. Not too bad at all. All right, so I heard that the tops of are round. I thought they were pointy. There we go. They were pointy, I says. Amanda is letting us know that limit is BS, and I'm firmly on your side. I sent 40 to one person and a few to another 2. That's 50 max, not 500. I wonder if they changed it to 50 just to get more people to sign up. Oh. Okay, so I thought they were pointy. And the rest of this joke, that sounds like peak. There. Peak propaganda. There we go. It's a cheap joke, but it works. I heard the tops of mountains are round. I thought they were pointy. That sounds like peak propaganda. See, it works on 2 levels. Dave, welcome to the nest. Yep, $8, blue check. It's like a problem that we have, where it's like, you can go to another site to talk. You can go to like, what do they got, like Minds or Facebook or what have you. You can go there to talk, but really almost all of these sites are dead. There's nothing going on, so you just have to go back to another place. Maybe that's what we could do, Amanda. We could find another social media platform, sign up to it, and then just that's the room where you can have unlimited talking to whoever for like DMs and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about limits, and then just keep your X account for different stuff. Is it a pain in the butt? Yes. Is it unnecessary? Yes. Does it solve the problem? Possibly. I've been thinking about that. Like, I don't know that there is another place that is as lively and is as fun. aside from going there with your friends for like an echo chamber or something like that. I mean, there's so many little sites out there. There's what, Minds, MeWe, I think is one. Facebook, you go back to the old book. Twitter, is Yellow still a thing? MySpace, I thought, was trying to make a comeback. Go there. Oh, I also got to hang out with Bud Root. That's cool. Was he cool? Interesting. I'm sure he was. He seemed all right on the stream when he was with Andy and Dennis. Yeah. Get this cooler. Yeah, one of these days, maybe one day, if there's a bunch of CG people, and I highly doubt it, in a Minneapolis con, I might go. Maybe just like summon the fortitude to just take a 2-hour long boring car ride just to say hello to everybody. But I don't know. He's cool, but I would say his work is naughty. You are correct, sir. I remember Andy would show off he showed off a Bud Root sketchbook. Boy, oh boy. That was what you might call an R-rated stream. To our mom. Siblings. Yeah, maybe we can we'll have to figure something out for Amanda so that she can have more messages, more tweeting, aside from paying $8 a month. It's like another streaming service, isn't it? You can cut the Netflix and get yourself some X. X gonna take it from you, I guess. Citizen Rona says, we're going to break you, Bird. We want a book and a con appearance. Hold on. That's asking a lot. That's as a hermit, someone that hasn't even shown his face. That's a lot. But I got 2 new comic strips here for X. And it looks like I've done one. I suppose I could stay a little while longer. I mean, for goodness sakes, there's 10 people in here. I think that's top 3 for sure. Now there's 8 people. 2 people noticed that I noticed that they were there and they ran away. But the con appearances, I don't know, man. It seems I don't feel like I'm nearly well enough known yet, because sitting there for 8 hours talking, maybe 2 people, it'd be wonderful to meet them, but then sitting there just watching people pass by, like so many. I don't know that I want to revert to carnival barking, like, get right here, get yourself a statistical 0 book, step right up, you sir, don't walk away, don't look at me like that, what is that, a middle finger? No, don't do that. Probably be what would happen. But I don't know that anybody. Marcus Kilger says you don't have to go to the con, just say, yeah, right. Ronan says Amanda probably likes them stat, but she can't DM you to tell you. She's right here. I think he might mean the strips, the comic strips. I'm hoping. I'm thinking. I'm connecting some dots, and I hope that it looks like the picture is supposed to look. But you never know. You never know with this crowd. All right. That's that. Maybe I'll. Yeah, she likes them comic strips. That's good. That's good to know. I'm glad. Quick project update. How about this? I'm gonna give you a little bit of proof positive that I'm doing something. 1 second. Just let me just move some stuff around here on my desktop. Create a new folder. I'm going to name it project so that you don't. Oh, no, I can't do that. I'm going to name it other project. Okay. And I'm going to let you guys see thumbnails. Little bitty thumbnails. Because I wasn't going to show anything from this project here. but I can maybe show like some tiny thumbnails. Just so you know. Just so you know. Let's see, small icons, large icons, extra. No, we want medium. Medium icons looks good. Okay. And just okay. So Stippling Vaughn says, once published, you'll be the newest, hottest creator in CG. You'll be on Ballers and co-hosting. Right. Sure I will. They're gonna say who? Oh, I think I saw him in the chat one time. Okay, there it is. Look at that, right there. Make that a little smaller so it looks even harder to see. But there it is. That's 18 pages so far that I've worked on. 17 and 18 I am working on. Got the layouts in there, doing the pencils. 22 page first one, nothing huge. Second book, I haven't decided if it's going to be 22 pages or it's going to be a little bit longer. And then possibly a comic strip collection. Those are the first three. And then I want to do a dang, it came out on a Wednesday. I want to at least do a submission. I got 2 ideas that I think might work for Pete, but it's just a time to sit down and draw the 6 pages or so that it would take and make them look good and make it something that would actually add to the book and not just be like a waste of his time and your time. Those are the 4 things that I want to do, hopefully within the next year to 2 years, is because I do have kind of a busy life, so this is a hobby until it's not. But so the project I'm working on right now, a possible comic strip collection, 1 volume, maybe 2, I don't know. I've got 4 years of old comic strips I can cannibalize the writing on too, which is kind of nice. That second project I got, and then at least 1 Pete Simeti submission for it came out on a Wednesday, just so I can say I'm in an alternate comics book. That'd be kind of cool, so I can contribute to that, help that company out a little bit with a little entertainment. That'd be something. So those are the things I'm working on, in addition to just continuing to practice and study and fill sketchbooks and that kind of stuff. But I'm working for you guys. I'm working. We'll see what happens. Exciting though. It's the more you do, the better you get, and the better you get, the more it excites people. And then the more it excites people, the more it excites me, and it just keeps on going. It's like a nice, not a vicious cycle. It's a pleasant cycle. It's this kind of cycle every artist and fan want to be on. So that's what I'm working towards. Working towards just being a bit more of a entertainment for you guys. So you don't have to go back to Disney. You don't have to go back to Universal. You can say, you know what? I'm cool. I got statistical 0. Let's see. Marcus Killer Crew says, are Pete's submissions for that on his website? Yes, they are. And I can show you if you go to... now, I believe... I don't know if he's... he did have it for like April and September for like the actual book submissions, but it came out on a Wednesday stuff it's open 24/7. So that much is still there. Okay, so yeah, let's bring this down here, and I'll share this and we'll take a look at it together. Why not? Who doesn't like a little bit of Alterna? Okay, so no longer accepting submissions for series. Thank you for understanding. I hope you consider. So it came out on a Wednesday. Here it is. You can find it on the regular site. You go right into more and then submissions. And then he's got his guidelines here. 10 pages, maximum page count. It can be any genre, teen, young adult. He tells you all about like the coloring, the page dimensions, the trim size. You get like 5 copies per of an issue per page. Of course, you do 10 pages, you're going to get that much in in copies, right? 4 pages, 20 copies, so on and so on. And then he's got his code of conduct stuff. So it's all right here. All of it's right here. It's pretty easy, pretty cut cut and dried to for the rules. So eventually, yes, that is something that I'm hoping to find some good time to get done. I've got a few ideas, like I said, not 100% sure if any of them are right for it came out on Wednesday, but we'll give it a shot. What the heck? What he says, maybe not this one. And then what I do, I either put it in a vault and never speak about it again, or I put it on X for you guys to see. Or what I do is I take all these little knickknacks and ideas and I put it into a anthology book of just like different ideas that I've had, so that you guys can get those one day. Okay, so that's a possibility of 4 to 5 possible books that I got in my head right now. An anthology book, the thing that I'm working on right now, this other kind of standalone deal, and then a comic strip collection. That could be coming out someday. Yeah. Marcus Killer Survive unpublished stories. That's a either, like it came out on a Wednesday for smaller stuff, or just collecting it all in to yourself, or like a book of different stuff. Oh my goodness. A Wild Phil with 2 L's appears. Hello. Almost done, winding down. We were talking a little bit about you earlier. Just a little bit. The Tampa stuff. Looked like you had a good time. We talked about that last time. But I got to let you guys go. This has been a heck of an outro. It's very quiet. Turned off the music. Did I sound like Rain Man there for a second? Yeah, it's very quiet. Very quiet. Turn off the music. Yeah. Oh, boy. Or no, Sea Urchin from The Tick, right? Remember that? Yeah, definitely Sea Urchin. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to let you guys all go. Thank you very much for hanging out. I had dang near 10 people, 8 to 10 people this whole time. That's a good show for me. That's I'd say dang near a record. So until then, see you when I see you next.